Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Healthcare Signals That Matter. With me, Meghana Arun Pillai, powered by Intent.Health. This week, artificial intelligence continued reshaping drug discovery. Obesity care remained one of healthcare's biggest growth stories. Regulators made several high-impact FDA decisions. Major acquisitions accelerated biotech consolidation, and public health agencies continued responding to infectious disease outbreaks. Here are the healthcare signals that mattered. Signal 1 of the week. AI is becoming care infrastructure for drug discovery. Artificial intelligence took another major step toward becoming essential healthcare infrastructure. Tempus announced its $1.5 billion acquisition of Personalis to strengthen AI-driven precision oncology. Bristol Myers Squibb became the first pharmaceutical company to deploy NVIDIA's latest AI supercomputer for drug discovery, while the US government unveiled a $5 billion AI initiative to accelerate biomedical research. Cigna also reported that its AI-powered healthcare tools have already helped customers save more than $200 million through improved care coordination and personalized recommendations. The signal: AI is no longer experimental technology. It is becoming the foundation of research, clinical decision-making, and healthcare delivery. Signal 2 of the week. Obesity care is expanding beyond weight loss. The obesity treatment market continued evolving on multiple fronts. Novo Nordisk secured European approval for its oral Wegovy weight loss pill and announced plans to introduce a lower-cost Ozempic option in South Africa to improve affordability. Eli Lilly released additional positive data for its next-generation obesity therapy and also reported encouraging results for an experimental GLP-1 treatment that improved fatty liver disease even beyond its weight loss benefits. At the same time, more patients are choosing to stay on obesity medications long-term, reinforcing the growing acceptance of these therapies. The signal: the obesity market is shifting from rapid adoption toward long-term disease management, broader access, and next-generation innovation. Signal 3 of the week. Mergers and strategic investments are reshaping biotech. Healthcare companies continued making billion-dollar bets on future growth. Samsung Biologics launched a $1.8 billion bid for polypeptide to strengthen peptide manufacturing. Repligen agreed to acquire BioLife Solutions for $1.5 billion to expand its cell therapy capabilities. Meanwhile, Eli Lilly entered the psychedelic medicine space through a deal worth up to $3.8 billion, highlighting growing industry interest in mental health therapeutics. The signal: companies are using acquisitions and partnerships to secure leadership in the next generation of high-growth therapeutic areas. Signal 4 of the week. Regulators continued to shape healthcare innovation. The FDA remained one of the week's biggest market movers. Johnson & Johnson received FDA authorization for its next-generation robotic surgery platform. Merck secured approval for a new once-daily cholesterol treatment. Outlook Therapeutics received approval for its eye disease therapy, and the FDA approved on over-the-counter combination Tylenol product. Meanwhile, FDA advisory panel spent the week reviewing multiple peptides, recommending some for pharmacy compounding while rejecting others, decisions that could reshape growing personalized medicine market. The signal: regulatory decisions are increasingly determining which healthcare innovations reach patients and how quickly. Signal 5 of the week. Public health challenges continue to test healthcare systems. The cyclospora outbreak remained one of the biggest public health stories of the week. Cases continued rising across multiple US states, particularly in Michigan, while investigators expanded efforts to identify the outbreak source. Taco Bell temporarily removed lettuce from selected restaurants, although FDA officials later reported that an earlier positive test involving Taylor forms was likely a false positive, and investigations remain ongoing. Elsewhere, measles cases surpassed 2,300 in the United States, while Ebola-related travel precautions remained in place for Americans returning from affected regions. The signal, infectious disease surveillance, and rapid outbreak response remain critical priorities for public health agencies. Signal 6 of the week. Healthcare policy and market dynamics continue to influence access. Healthcare policy continued shaping market across multiple sectors. The Trump administration paused more than $1 billion in Medicaid payments to California and Minnesota pending fraud reviews. The administration also delayed tariffs on generic medicines for 2 years before introducing planned import duties, prompting manufacturers such as Sandoz to seek further discussions with US officials. Meanwhile, new heart disease guidelines could significantly expand the number of patients eligible for statin therapy. The signal, government policy is becoming just as influential as scientific innovation in determining healthcare access, affordability, and market growth. As we wrap up this week's edition of Healthcare Signals That Matter, one message stands out. Healthcare is becoming increasingly interconnected. Artificial intelligence, precision medicine, regulatory decisions, public health preparedness, and government policies are no longer separate conversations. They are shaping the industry's future together. Thank you, and you're watching Healthcare Signals That Matter with me, Meghana Arun Pillai, powered by Intent.Health, and I'll see you next week with more healthcare signals that matter.